About 10 a.m. on Thursday, the Ministry of Education convened a meeting with stakeholders, particularly those in the tertiary sector, to actually resolve the matter of the increment of fees. Well, we do understand that some universities, like the University of Ghana, have been charging more than 15% of increment in fees for the year 2022-2023 academic year. And this, the ministry says that it is unacceptable. So the implementation of the 15% increment became a problem. This is because some of the public universities were charging more than the approved fees. For instance, the University of Ghana was charging more than 15% increment, and this actually peeved some of these students who came out boldly to resist this increment. Also, some of the students' body, we know, for instance, like NUCS, was also against this particular situation. They also boldly came with this stance and indicated to the various universities to go and actually comply with the directive that has been approved by Parliament. After the crunch meeting between the Ministry of Education and the various leadership of the public tertiary institutions that were present in the meeting, they all agreed to comply with the directive by Parliament to increase tuition fees by 15%. However, the University of Education's management that was present did not show its interest to agree or to adhere to this particular directive.
They have complied with the parliamentary directive of charging 15% of fees on last year's fees. And so for them, there is no issue. Of course, the only outstanding issue is that they have to refund to the students that overpaid. When it comes to the 4 universities that met today, 3 of them complied spot on. Referring to University of Education, University of Cape Coast, and then UMAT. Of course, I mean, they are saying that if there was also excess payment, they are going to refund. I think the only peculiar difficulty that we had to do with the University of Ghana, but they are saying that they may have to revert back to council and discuss that at council level before they come back to the table. But I mean, we all know, even though we are not going to prejudice their discussion, essentially, council's decision cannot supersede that of parliamentary decision.
Nobody has paid. In fact, what we do is that when you pay beyond above the amount, we pay it back to the students. You made that request, and we paid back to the student. And some of the students also have scholarship. Sometimes they do not even know. They pay the amount of that school fees to us. And then later, when they make the request, we refund it to them.
We sent the admission letter to fresh students. We also indicated to fresh students they could pay 30% of the amount. And then when school reopens, they can pay the rest of the amount that's outstanding. Now, some might have paid the 30%, others might have paid beyond the 50%. Anybody who paid beyond the 50% on the existing fee as of last year would also be credited with the amount that is over.
Heard from University of Education, Winneba. You've also heard from our great university, University of Cape Coast, about steps that they have taken in cases where the fees were over 15%. They are doing refunds. They want to leave within the 15% as mandated by Parliament. So I'm very happy that no quota has been instituted other than the fact that schools are admitting based on their capacity. Because you know that prior to this year, last year, we have up to just level 300. Now we have level 400. Government has embarked on major infrastructure development, building new hostels. They are not completed yet. So if you allow the same number of students that were there from the previous year, they won't fit in the school. So that's why GTech work with the colleges to adjust so that they can accommodate all our students. That is what is happening. I'm surprised to hear about revocation because I know that they did not admit before GTech directive went to them. So I'm surprised there will be any revocation.
The directive is simple. The Ministry of Education has indicated that no public university is expected to charge more than 15% increment in fees, as has been stipulated by Parliament. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Kweku Eduamansa.
Now let's remain with issues having to do with school fees and the PRO of the Education Ministry. Kweku, Kwesi Kwarteng, has described as illegal monies that are paid by parents in wards for senior high schools to school authorities. This is coming after complaints from some school authorities, parents rather, that school authorities are charging for food and other user fees.
No, when it comes to the financial policy that underpins education in Ghana here, especially at the basic level, I mean, at no point should any parent or student pay money to any school, especially when it comes to feeding, fees, whatever. I mean, the government policy is very clear that as part of measures to expand access into our education space, of course, with the ultimate view of achieving a socio-economic transformation, at no point should any parent pay money. It is the more reason why government elected to remove that barrier of cost. And so if we get to know the name of such institution quickly, we may have to liaise with the headmaster or the headmistress and understand or find out what is really going on. But I mean, for the records, such payments are illegal and they are not supposed to be paid.